talk about in my videos is my opinion only, so sit back, relax, grab yourself a cuppa or a drink of your choice and enjoy. Hi guys, it's me, Lucie Spills. How's everyone doing? So this is my part 2 of my previous video that I did of what's not to like about Meggy Poos. It was quite a long list. I did miss a few things out, but this is a part 2 and it's mainly about Has, to be fair. So we had why, and funnily enough in that, racism wasn't mentioned once. Not once against his wife or his children. Not once. Funny that. But instead he bragged about his frozen todger, applying cream to it and thinking of his mum. I mean, yeah, so he spoke about that instead. Okay. And after why, he did the PR tour for it, didn't he? He did 3 interviews where the narrative changed to, where the narrative changed to unconscious bias. It's unconscious bias now. It was the British media that said it was racism.
The Oprah interview, you accuse members of your family of racism. You don't even...
No, we didn't.
Well,
the British press said that.
Right.
Did Meghan ever mention that they were racist?
She said there were troubling comments about
There was concern about his skin colour.
Right. Wouldn't you describe that as essentially racist?
I wouldn't, not having lived within that family.
I mean, liars have to have a very good memory because or they'll forget everything that they've said. Because 2 years ago, both of them absolutely said racism. We all know that. They think we are as thick as they are. They really must do, honestly. So then Has does Travelist, whatever that is. I still don't understand what it is. So the Travelist mission, apparently, is, quote, our mission is to charge the way for good. He also goes on to say, this is then a scale for free on platforms they already know and trust. And then uses private jets like Ubers, like I said previously. It's just, I don't get Travelist. I get what it's all about because of his drivelly word salads that his wife's taught him when he does his speeches about it. So, yeah, I don't get it. So in 2019, just after they've got married and they were planning on leaving at that time, in my opinion, Harry got all litigation happy, didn't he? And decided to take the news group years later about the phone hacking. Why didn't you do that years ago? William took an out-of-court settlement years ago because it's not protocol for royals to go to court. He's a pseudo-royal, so he does. Also, he could have used... There's a secret entrance to the High Court, as a lot of celebrities use it. He used the front entrance to be papped, of course. You know, the person who hates paps and they harass him and, victim, you know. So, yeah, there's that. But something I'll never understand is why he did take it years later. You know, his wife obviously told him to do that. Oh, you need to take him about this phone hacking scam years ago. You know, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. So he won that one case, okay? So then he goes back to court to try and take various media outlets for various reasons, and he lost all of them. I mean, and he was slapped down, like I said, for his entitlement. So he goes back to court in 2024 to take the UK government, the multimillionaire himself, for the taxpayer to pay for his security when he comes over here, as it's all about police following him with guns, and so it's all about status. That's all it is. He wasn't worried about his security when he was in war, when he was talking about his kill count then, was he? So it's all about status. He wants all, when he comes to the UK, he wants all these police following him and guns and all this. It's all a matter of status. It's nothing to do with going to see King Charles. As we all know, recently he went, again, about his security, doesn't care much about that, as he went over to the UK before going to Nigeria. And he declined to stay in one of the royal residences where he would have been highly protected with armed police security, but went to stay in a hotel and declined to see his dad. I mean, it's just like, make it make sense, Haz. Please, just make it make sense. And you're losing all your lawsuits. You've lost 20 mil on litigation. Fact check me if I'm wrong on that, but that's the last thing I read. 20 mil on litigation. I mean, how embarrassing. I'm going to say you are a walking embarrassment, Haz. I mean, I hate the fact that I blame a woman for changing a man. I would never normally do that. But drop in the comments if you believe that that Prince Harry is now as bad as her and as narcissistic as her now, and that's just the way he is, and he's just presenting himself for what he is now because he's not being protected by the royal family anymore. Or do you think he's in a narcissistic, abusive relationship? Now, I'm no psychologist. I'm not qualified to diagnose anyone with narcissism or anything like that. But it's so obvious with Meggie Poos, and it is so obvious. So, yeah, so drop in the comments. I'd be really interested to know if people do think that, if he's in a narcissistic, abusive relationship, or he's always been that way and the royal family just protected him. So, yeah, me and my husband debate on this quite a lot. So we have ARO now. Oh, God, am I going to be able to pronounce it? American Riviera Orchard, drivel, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God. I mean, her lack of creativity, I'm sorry, it's just, with the logos and everything, as I've pointed out in another video, so lazy. Her team are crap. And she's selling her jams for $200. Wow. I have never seen any jam priced that much. Jam. And yeah, so she's selling them for $200. And she's also coming out with this Snooze Fest documentary on, what is it? Cooking, friendship. As if she can talk about friendship in any way, shape or form. And gardening. Boring. I've said this before, Anna. And then we've got, as I said in a previous video, the Snooze Fest that's going to come out on Netflix of Harry's polo with the elitist sport. And as I pointed out before, he hasn't. He's been quite cruel to horses in the past. And to be honest as well, I thought Meggie Poos was a feminist. And that's her content for Netflix. Why didn't she do something about feminism or something like that? Oh no, she's too lazy, isn't she, to research and do all that? Nah, she don't want to do all that. She just wants to do a bit of cooking in the kitchen and talking to a few friends and stuff like that, and then garden. So she just wants to be lazy. She has no, I don't know who, I know she's got a new PR rep. They must be really crap too. That's all I can say on that. Oh, and then we had the lovely South Park.
We want privacy! We want privacy!
Love it, love it. And they got that couple down to a fine tea. And you know what? Maggie Pooch tried to sue South Park as if she would ever win that against South Park. Ever. The amount of times they parodied like celebrities and stuff, but I think that is one of the best they've ever done, because I know Maggie Poo's watched it. I think she came out and said she'd watched it and wanted to sue. But because it just, I mean, I know they said Canadian, you know, Prince and Princess, but everyone knew who they were talking about. And I think I've watched it about 10 times, so I find it so funny. So, yeah, there was that. And so now, Prince William and Princess Catherine have come out with a statement to say they're terrified, understandably so, about Maggie Poo's and has going on these tours, trying to pretend the royal tours, and they do not want them representing the royal family, as they were greeting con artists and they didn't speak about anything about violations against women. They didn't visit anyone in poverty. They didn't do anything like that. That's not what royals do. Not do what they did on that tour. In their mind, of course, they thought it went amazingly, because it was all, ooh, I'm a princess, you know, and all this. But, and all cameras from Netflix. Of course, in their mind, they thought it went well. But in everyone else's, and the First Lady of Nigeria, it would seem,
the message here is we have to salvage our children. You know, we see the way they dress. They keep forgetting that Nigeria, we are beautiful. The moment you can see what they showcase on the stage, I said we are fashionable. We see what is going on. You know, we are not having a Met Gala. And everyone, their nakedness is just everywhere. And the men are well clothed. So we have to do something. Tell them the way it is. We don't accept nakedness in our culture. It's not beautiful at all. And they're all beautiful girls. But they should be confident to know they are. They don't want to be like, even they are mimicking and trying to emulate film stars from America. They don't know where they come from. Why did Meghan come here looking for Africa? That is something we have to take home with. We know who we are, and don't lose who you are. God bless you.
It went terrible. So, yeah, I went into that in my last video. I don't actually think I mentioned how disrespectful she was with the, as the First Lady said, her Met Gala dresses. I mean, I might have said this, but it's a predominantly Muslim country. Maggie Poo's, cover yourself up. Look at the women around you, the beautiful Nigerian women around you, all covered up in beautiful clothing. And you were there with a top cut off like that, with all your shoulders on show. And the only reason she's wearing these Met Gala clothing is because she'll never be invited to them. Nor has she ever. So she had to use them in some sense, didn't she? Even if it was to use the whole country. So, yeah. And what was so hilarious is while she was, oh, I'm a princess, look at me, ooh, it came out in America that they'd not filed their tax returns. So, I just found that so funny. Oh, I'm a princess, look at me, look at the Netflix cameras on me, Meghan. Thank you for that. What is it, the Housewives? Thank you for that, Meghan. I love that name. I've already linked, according to Tazzy's video on their tax returns. She's done a really good kind of deep dive on this, which, yeah, it's a brilliant watch. I'm going to link it below again this time. Yeah, give that a watch, because she really goes into about the taxes and everything, and about the Archwell Foundation scam and stuff like that. So, yeah, give that a watch. Brilliant video, and I'll link it below. Anyway, that's it for me today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed my content. Humour again, I guess. And I hope you subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to hear more of my content on these two maniacs, as Taz also said. But yeah. Hope to see you all again soon. Welcome everyone who's already liked, dropped a comment and subscribed. Thank you so much. It means the absolute world to me. So yeah. Bye guys. Much love.